I'm 82 years old, and 6 months ago I was cleaning out my father's house after he died. He was 97. I was in the attic going through boxes when I found something that broke me. A folder, an old accordion folder. Inside were drawings. My drawings, from when I was a kid, dozens of them, maybe hundreds. Charcoal sketches from when I was 12.
Watercolors from high school, oil paintings from college. He'd kept them all, every single one, labeled with dates in his handwriting. I sat on the attic floor surrounded by my art I'd given up 60 years ago, and I realized he was proud of me. He'd always been proud. He just never told me. And I'd spent 60 years becoming someone else trying to earn an approval I already had. Here's what nobody tells you about living for your parents' approval. You can't earn love that's conditional. You can only lose yourself trying. And by the time you realize they loved you all along, it's too late to get back the life you traded away. I'm making this video because I see people everywhere doing what I did, making life choices based on what their parents want instead of what they want, chasing approval they'll never feel they've earned, giving up their dreams for someone else's vision of success. And I need you to know what it costs, because I gave up art to become an accountant, and I've spent 60 years doing math instead of painting, and I can't get those years back. Let me tell you what happened. 6 months ago, my father died. After the funeral, I had to clear out his house. He'd lived in the same place for 70 years. I was in the attic going through boxes. Most of it was junk, old papers, broken appliances he'd meant to fix. Then I found this accordion folder, heavy, stuffed full. I opened it and my breath caught. My art, all of it. Every piece I'd ever given him, every drawing I'd done as a child, every painting from high school and college. He'd kept them all, and he'd labeled them in his handwriting. Daniel, age 12, 1953. Daniel, age 19, 1960. Every single one dated and preserved. I sat there holding a painting I'd done when I was 21, a landscape, one of my best pieces. I'd given it to him right before I decided to quit art school. On the back, in his handwriting, beautiful work. My son is talented. He'd written that 61 years ago, and he'd never told me. Let me tell you the biggest lie I told myself my entire life. Once I prove myself, they'll accept me. Once I become successful on their terms, then they'll be proud. Parents always know best. If I just do what they want, eventually they'll see me. You know what? That's not honoring your parents. That's not being a good son. That's erasing yourself for an approval that either already exists or never will. I see people everywhere, especially young people in their 20s and 30s, and they're all saying some version of this. I'll pursue my passion after I do what my parents want. Once I prove I can succeed their way, then I'll do it my way. I owe them this. Let me save you 60 years of regret with one simple truth. Your life is yours to live. And if your parents' love is conditional on you being someone you're not, then what you're earning isn't love. It's approval. And approval is not the same as love. You know why? Because love accepts you as you are. Love supports your dreams even when they're different. And spending your life trying to earn conditional approval means spending your life being someone else. And before you know it, you're 82, your parents are dead, and you find out they were proud all along. They just never told you. I was good at art. Really good. From the time I was little, I could draw anything, could see things, translate them to paper. My teacher said I was talented, special, said I should pursue it seriously. I got into art school when I was 18, Rhode Island School of Design, full scholarship. They wanted me. I was so excited. I was going to be an artist, a real artist. I told my father, expected him to be proud. He said, art isn't a career. Art is a hobby. You need something practical, something stable. I said, art could be a career. I had a scholarship, he said. And what happens when you graduate and no one wants your paintings? What happens when you can't pay rent? What happens when you have a wife and children and you're still waiting tables hoping someone will buy your art? I didn't have answers. I was 18. I just knew I loved to paint. He said, I'm not paying for you to waste 4 years on a pipe dream. You want to go to college, you study something real, accounting, engineering, business. I said I had a scholarship. He wouldn't have to pay. He said, then you'll graduate with a useless degree and no prospects, and you'll come crawling back here asking for help. The way he said it, like it was already decided, like my dreams were childish and I needed to grow up. I turned down the scholarship, went to state school, majored in accounting, hated every minute of it, but I told myself, this is what responsible adults do. This is what makes parents proud. I never painted again. I graduated, got a job at an accounting firm, married a woman my parents approved of, had 2 kids, bought a house, did everything right. And I was miserable every single day, going through the motions of a life that wasn't mine. My father would ask how work was going. I'd say fine. He'd nod, satisfied. But he never said he was proud. Never acknowledged that I'd given up my dreams for his approval. When I was 42, my father had a heart attack. He survived, but it was serious. I went to visit him in the hospital. We talked about safe things, work, weather, the kids. Then he said, Daniel, are you happy? I didn't know how to answer. Said I was fine, had a good job, good family. He said, that's not what I asked. I looked at him, and I almost told him the truth. Almost said, no, I'm not happy. I gave up everything I loved to become who you wanted me to be. But I didn't say that. I said, I'm fine, Dad. He nodded. Looked like he wanted to say something else. Didn't. That was the closest we ever came to an honest conversation. I retired at 65, 30 years as an accountant. People at my retirement party said I'd had a good career, been reliable, thorough. I went home that night and I thought, reliable, thorough. That's what they'll remember. Not talented, not creative, not passionate. After I retired, I thought about painting again, bought some supplies, set up a small studio in the garage. But I couldn't do it. It had been 45 years. The skill was gone, the confidence was gone, the vision was gone. My father started declining when he was 95. Dementia. He moved into assisted living. I visited him every week. Sometimes he knew who I was, sometimes he didn't. One day, about a month before he died, he was having a lucid moment. He looked at me and said, Daniel, I need to tell you something. I said, okay. He said, I was proud of you, your art. When you were young, I was so proud. But I didn't know how to say it. I was afraid you'd waste your talent, afraid you'd struggle. I thought I was protecting you. He paused, tears in his eyes. But I was wrong. I should have let you try, should have supported your dream, should have told you I was proud instead of trying to change you. I sat there unable to speak. He said, did you know I kept all your drawings, all your paintings? I have them in the attic. I look at them sometimes. They're beautiful. You were so talented. I held his hand. We both cried. He said, I'm sorry I never told you. I'm sorry I made you give it up. I robbed you of your life. And I'm sorry. 2 weeks later, he died. And that was the only time he ever said he was proud of my art. After I found the folder in the attic, After I saw all those drawings he'd kept and labeled, I understood. He loved my art. He always had. He just didn't know how to love it out loud. And I'd spent 60 years trying to earn what I already had. If you're living for your parents' approval right now, I want you to ask yourself some hard questions. Are you pursuing your dreams or theirs? Are you making choices based on what you want or what they want? How many dreams have you given up because they didn't approve? If they died tomorrow, would you be living the life you want? Or would you be stuck in a life you built to please them? Can you even remember what you wanted before you started wanting their approval? If you can't answer these, you're making the same mistake I made. Here's what I understand now. Parents are human, they're flawed. They have fears that they project onto you. They have dreams for you that aren't your dreams. And loving them doesn't mean becoming who they want you to be. You can love your parents and still live your own life. You can respect them and still make different choices. You can honor them and still pursue your dreams, because your life is yours, not theirs. And living someone else's life, even to make your parents happy, is still wasting your life. Conditional approval isn't love. Conditional approval is control. It says, I'll accept you if you meet my standards. Real love says, I'm proud of you for being yourself. I may not understand your choices, but I support you. And if your parents can't give you that, if their approval is always just out of reach, always dependent on you changing something fundamental, then you have to choose. Spend your life chasing their approval, or spend your life being yourself. I chose wrong. I chased approval, and I lost myself completely. After finding those drawings, I tried to paint again. Really tried. Bought good supplies, sat down with a blank canvas. Nothing came. 60 years of not painting, 60 years of shutting down that part of myself. It was gone. I can't get it back. Can't reclaim the artist I was supposed to be. That person died 60 years ago when I turned down the scholarship. All I have left is regret and a folder full of drawings that show what I could have been. If I could go back and talk to my 18-year-old self, here's what I would say. Take the scholarship. Go to art school. Pursue your dream. Stop trying to earn approval from someone who's too afraid to give it. Your father loves you, but his fear is his problem, not yours. His vision of success isn't the only vision. You're talented. You have something real. Don't throw it away because someone else is afraid. Live your life. Be an artist. Fail if you have to. Struggle if you have to. But be yourself. Because if you give it up, you'll spend 60 years being someone else. And 60 years is a long time to be the wrong person. I'm 82. If I'm lucky, maybe 5 more years. Maybe 10 if blessed. Probably less. And I'll die having never been who I was meant to be. Having never painted the paintings I was supposed to paint. Having never lived the life I was supposed to live. All because I was trying to earn an approval I already had from a father who was too afraid to tell me. These last 6 months since finding those drawings, I've stopped lying to myself. I didn't have a good career. I had a safe career, and safe isn't the same as good. I didn't honor my father by becoming an accountant. I abandoned myself. I'm not proud of the life I lived. I'm sad about the life I didn't live. That's the truth. And it's too late to change it. You have a choice right now, today. Keep living for your parents' approval. Keep chasing conditional love. Keep becoming who they want instead of who you are. Or wake up. Realize that your life is yours. That your parents' fear isn't your responsibility. That approval you have to earn isn't worth having. That being yourself matters more than making them happy. I can't make this choice for you, but I can tell you, You don't want to be 82 in an attic holding drawings from a life you never lived. Don't waste 60 years earning approval you might already have. Learn from my mistake.
Be yourself, pursue your dreams, live your life. Let them be disappointed if they're going to be disappointed. You get one life, don't spend it being someone else. If this resonates, share this video. Leave a comment about one dream you've been suppressing to please your parents. Subscribe because I have a few more regrets to share before I run out of time. The clock is ticking. Whose life are you living?